friends, and welcome back to the channel. This is Bree Has Hope, and in today's video we are doing something a little bit different than we have in the past. Today we are actually working in Create a Sim, and we are going to be creating a sim of one of my favorite people in the world. Literally one of my number one favorite people in the world. And that is my mom. The day that this video is being uploaded, February 28th, is my mom's birthday. So this video is a special homage to my mom as a small birthday gift to her. So throughout this video, we are going to be creating all of the different looks for my mom as a sim. And while I do that, I thought that I could tell you guys some of my favorite stories or memories or things about my mom, just to, celebrate her and the relationship that we have together. So a little bit of a background about me and my mom. My mom got pregnant with me when she was 17. I was born when she was 18. And because she had me at a younger age, we had a very, very special relationship growing up. She always says that we basically grew up together and we were the best of friends my entire childhood because of that. I definitely went through my phases where I was bratty or sassy, but for the most part, my mom and I were very, very close growing up. One of my favorite memories from my childhood is there was a night. I was a toddler. This has to be one of my earliest memories, honestly. And there was a night that I really wanted some cereal, and we did not have any milk. And my mom sent my dad off to get some milk so that I could have some cereal. It was late. It had to have been, to me as a toddler, it seemed like it was like super late at night. It was probably like 6 or 7 or 8 p.m., but pretty late. And my dad went and got milk, and I got tired of waiting. And I insisted I wanted cereal now and that I would eat it with water. And my mom was like, okay, if you want cereal, you can eat it with water. And I don't know why, but it's just such a funny, precious memory to me, thinking about how old my mom would have been, probably, 18 or 19 at the time, and just saying, okay, if you want to try it, I'm not going to stop you. And that it may be small, but that really sets the tone for how she was basically throughout my entire life, through my childhood and into my teenage years. My mom definitely parented with the attitude of, if it makes you happy and you want to try it, I'm not going to stop you. My mom was so supportive, and she was not afraid to let us make mistakes and learn for ourselves. And I do think that that is a huge reason why I am the person I am today, is because my mom, obviously she cared a lot about us and didn't want us to be doing stupid stuff. But she gave us the confidence and the freedom to try new things and make mistakes. And I learned a lot through the mistakes I was allowed to make. And yeah, so thinking back to that memory, I just feel like I said, I feel like it sets the tone for the way my mom parented. And I'm really grateful that she gave us the space to try new things, even if we weren't going to like them. Something else that really sticks out to me in my mind, when I was in high school, probably, maybe 8th grade into 9th grade, my mom went through a divorce, and it was a really tough time for us. But the one really special thing that we always did together was had parties in the car. And parties in the car included a lot of Moves Like Jagger by Maroon 5 and Super Bass by Nicki Minaj, and just the fun party style songs of, the early 2010s. And it's just something that is really special to me. And anytime I'm listening to music and jamming out in the car, whether I be by myself or with my husband, I always think of my mom, and I always think of the parties in the car that we had. And I know that those memories are just as special to my mom as they are to me. And I'm really grateful that we had that time together. I also remember my mom teaching me how to drive, and I always give her crap because I personally think that I am a better driver than my mom. No shade, Mom. Even though I've probably been in more car accidents than my mom, but that's circumstantial. But, it's really special memories that I have of my mom teaching me how to drive. She started teaching me how to drive in our neighborhood when I was 13 or 14. So I had lots of practice. She never put me out on the real roads, but she would let me, drive around in the back streets of our neighborhood. That our neighborhood was like a new development, and so there were a bunch of cul-de-sacs and streets towards the back that didn't have houses yet. So we would go back there where no other cars were really going to be driving around, and she would let me practice and learn how to drive on those back streets. And I think those are pretty special memories as well. Something else that, really sticks out to me when I think about my childhood with my mom is how freaking beautiful I always thought she was, and how jealous I was of how beautiful she was. And oh my God, I'm tearing up. My mom has a lot of tattoos, and that really set the tone for, oh, that's funny. I'm actually doing the tattoos in the video right now. That really, set an expectation in my mind of what beauty was, because, growing up, I didn't see a ton of people with tattoos like my mom had. My mom has beautiful, brightly colored tattoos, and I just thought that they were so beautiful and so special because they made my mom unique. And I bugged her from the age of probably 11 or 12. I started bugging her saying I wanted a tattoo. And at 13, 14, I would beg her to sign off on me getting a tattoo, and she would always say, nope, you have to wait till you're 18. You have to wait till you're 18. And I don't know if I've ever told her this, but a huge reason I wanted them is because I thought that they accentuated her beauty so much, and I wanted to feel as beautiful as she was to me. Sorry, I'm crying. But yeah, so now I have a lot of tattoos as well. I got my first tattoo on my 18th birthday with my mom and my brother. It's a very special tattoo to me, but the experience of getting my first tattoo, I went to my mom's tattoo artist, and it's just really special. And it's funny because now a lot of my tattoos I got in a really difficult time in my life, and sitting here and talking about it actually is giving me a new appreciation for my tattoos, because I'm remembering how beautiful I thought my mom was with her tattoos, and I should remember that my tattoos help accentuate my beauty just like they do my mom's. I'm gonna wipe away my snot from crying if you bear with me a moment. Okay. On that note, something else that I've always really admired about my mom is her sense of style. And her sense of style has changed a lot over time. My mom had a very typical style of somebody in the early aughts. When I was a kid, I remember her definitely having a Karen, can I speak to your manager style haircut when I was in elementary school. And as I got older, she just started having like a more and more spunky clothing style, and I always wanted to dress like her. I was always stealing her clothes, even clothes she probably really did not want me to be stealing, but definitely as I got into high school, basically my whole freshman year, I wore mostly her clothes. And it's been so cool to watch her style kind of change and shift as I've gotten older and as she's gotten older. My mom's in her 40s now, and just seeing how she's, come into herself and come into a style that she feels comfortable and confident in her 40s, and how she's so stylish even still. I feel like my mom has a much less, spunky alternative style now, and a much more like bohemian, it's like edgy bohemian style, and I love it. I think it suits her so well, and I just admire how confidently she wears the style that she feels the most, that fits her the most in the period of life that she's in. And I've always admired that about her. And I think a lot of my personal style as I've grown up and gone through phases in life have reflected the way my mom dressed because I admired her sense of style so much. So that's something that's really special to me too. I'm also mentioning, stealing her clothes when I was in high school just takes me back to some other memories I have of her when I was in high school. Something that really sticks out to me, and it probably sounds silly, but we would, again, when I first got into high school, it was the time my mom was going through a divorce, and we spent a lot of time just laying in her huge king size bed, and just laughing and watching TV shows together, watching movies together. But a lot of the time we weren't even doing that. We were just laying in the bed, playing around on our phones, making each other laugh, and just having really special time together during a really tough time in her life and in my life. And yeah, those are very special memories to me as well, which seems so small now, but oh my God, I'm crying so much. I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna take any multiple takes. I'm literally just speaking from the heart, so I'm not gonna cut out me crying because I want this is really genuine. As I've gotten older, my mom and I have, we've had some rocky times, some rocky periods of time throughout my adulthood, a lot of which stem from my stubbornness and want to be independent, and my mom's love for me and the relationship that we had because we are so close. And I've given my mom a lot of really tough times, but I think every road bump we hit in our relationship has made us stronger and made us closer. And now we are both kind of facing our own separate, really challenging times right now, present day. And I'm just really grateful that we have each other to turn to during this time for both of us. And I don't necessarily do the best job at reaching out to my mom every day. But I try my best, and I am really grateful for every chance that I get to talk to her, every chance that I get to, oh my gosh, every chance that I get to FaceTime her, even if it's for a couple minutes every few days, I'm just really grateful that we have each other and we have the relationship that we have now. Whew, my goodness. Okay, that got a little bit off track, but let's talk some more about some special memories that I have with my mom. A memory that I really enjoy with my mom is we went on a vacation when I believe it was the summer between my 7th grade and 8th grade year, I think. And we went with some family friends, and it was me, her, and my brother. Maybe it was between 8th and 9th grade, actually, now that I think about it. But me, her, and my brother went, and we went with some of her closest friends, and we got this beautiful beach house. And I don't even like the beach a whole lot, and I've never really liked the beach a lot, but that trip was really memorable for me. We went on a car ride to go to a Whataburger, maybe, because I don't think that we had those where I grew up. And so we took a special car trip. I think to me it felt like 2 hours, but it could have been shorter. I don't know. But it was me, my mom, and her friend that we were on the trip with. And we just listened to Bruno Mars and jammed out and laughed and had the best time. And even though the person that was with us is not a part of either of our lives anymore, that's still a really special memory too. I just remember I remember a lot of times like that where, in high school, in late middle school and early high school, I spent a lot of time with my mom and her friends. And again, my mom was my best friend, and I was always hanging out with my mom and her friends. And so I have a lot of special memories of doing that. And I just think it's so special that I got to be included in a lot of stuff that probably most other kids or teenagers weren't included in when it came to their parents. And my mom would let me play poker with her and her friends, and sometimes I would whoop their butts. I could not play poker today to save my life, but I was really good at it back then, unless they let me win, which I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, just stuff like that where, she would have group hangouts with her friends, and I was probably the only teenager there, but it was just, it just made me feel, she always made me feel included. She always made me feel like I was welcomed and wanted, and her friends did too. But during periods of time where I, really struggled to make friends at school, or, struggled to have people I wanted to hang out with in my free time, my mom was always there, and she very rarely was I not allowed to come along to hang out with her friends. It was, if I wanted to, I was welcome. And I really cherish that, because I think that those times, really shaped a lot of who I am and how I interact with people. And I'm really grateful for that too. It was maybe a little weird for a teenager to be hanging out with a bunch of 30-something-year-olds, 40-something-year-olds, but I always felt really cool. Even if it wasn't cool, I felt cool. And I really love a lot of the stuff that we got to do. Something that I just thought about, a memory that I just thought about thinking of hanging out with all of her friends. There was one Halloween where me and my mom, and I think my brother was staying with our dad, at the time. And so me, my mom, maybe my brother was with us, I really don't remember, but we went trick-or-treating with a group of her friends and her friends' kids, and we all piled up in a minivan and we were going trick-or-treating. I think I had to have been like 15 or 16, but I had just been introduced to the movie Juno, which I thought was really funny because obviously, like I said, my mom had me when she was a teenager. And I was like, wouldn't it be so funny if I dressed up as Juno for Halloween because I have a teen mom? And that, I think, is one of my favorite Halloween costumes I ever did, was dressing up as Juno. And she let me do it. She let me do it again. She just was really supportive of whatever made us happy. As long as we weren't getting ourselves in trouble, she really supported whatever we wanted to do. I had every color hair under the sun. I cut all my hair off. I had a pixie cut. I had, she let me get piercings, and she just was so supportive. And when I, came out to her when I was like 15, and told her that I liked girls, she was so supportive even then. Did not even really bat an eyelash. And that's just my mom. My mom just supported us in whatever we wanted to do. Again, as long as we weren't getting ourselves in trouble and hurting ourselves or others. And that also, bleeds into who I am and how I act as an adult. Not the very first tattoo I got, but one of the first tattoos I got when I was 18, I got a tiny little equals sign on the inside of my wrist. And when people would ask me about why I have an equal sign tattooed on my wrist, I always say because my mom raised me to treat everyone equally. And, it doesn't matter the color of your skin, the culture you grew up in, the religion that you believe in. It doesn't matter who you are. Every single human being deserves to be treated equally. And I live by that, and I stand by that. And that is, something my mom instilled in me, which is really important to me, especially because, as I met some family members that I had not known my whole life as a teenager, that had very different morals and beliefs than I was raised on. And they really challenged my morals and beliefs and encouraged me to think differently than how I was raised. And I stood very strong in, no, I believe that everybody is equal. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like. You deserve to be treated with kindness and respect and with dignity. And I know that my mom worked really hard to raise me with those beliefs, and I feel like I am a better person because of it. So I believe we are getting close to the end of our video here. I know a lot of this has been just kind of rambling, but just to kind of round us out, my mom is one of the strongest, most beautiful, incredible people I've ever met in my life. She is an absolute inspiration. She's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But I absolutely love my mom to pieces. I'm so grateful for every day that I get with my mom. I miss her every day that I don't get to see her right now. And oh my god. Oh goodness, guys. I truly believe that my mom deserves all the best things in the world, and I'm really, really thankful for the person that my mom raised me to be. And I truly hope that with some of the changes that are coming in my mom's life right now, I hope that she finds peace and joy and happiness. And Mom, I hope you're watching this, and if you are, oh my gosh. I just want you to know that I love you so much, and I'm so grateful for you. And I'm really excited for this next chapter in your life, because I think that you are going to thrive. You deserve to thrive. And you deserve all the best things in the world. Thank you for being my mom. Thank you for loving me unconditionally through all the ups and downs. And I love you so much. I love you so much. Happy birthday, Mom. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I know this was a little bit different of a video, but I'm really happy that I could make it and tell you guys a little bit about my mom and the wonderful life that my mom gave me. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Remember to spread kindness everywhere you go to everyone you meet. Thanks, guys.